The town of Red Rock wasn't so much a town as it was a suggestion, a handful of sun-bleached buildings clinging to the edge of a great red desert. The air smelled of dust, stale whiskey, and hot iron from the blacksmith shop. Into this furnace rode Blackjack. He rode in slow, not 'cause he was relaxed, but 'cause he was watching. He saw the curtain twitch in the upstairs window of the hotel. He saw the saloon swampers stop sweeping. He saw the way the town itself seemed to hold its breath. Now Black Jack had a reputation. The marshals in 3 territories had paper on him, but the folks in the know, they also knew he'd once held off a band of raiders from a Quaker settlement, asking for nothing but a hot meal in return. He was a puzzle, but he wasn't in Red Rock for the bounty on his head or to save any souls. He was chasing a ghost. He was looking for the lost coyote's gold. The legend said a prospector named Coyote. Jed found a vein so thick you could dig it out with your bare hands. Then one day, Jed the gold and his burro, they all just vanished, swallowed by the very canyon that gave him the gold. Jack knew that all whispers, rumors, and lies start in one place. He ordered a whiskey he didn't want and asked a question he did. "Heard talk of Coyote Jed," Jack said, his voice low. The bartender, a man with a face like a dried-up riverbed, just polished a glass. "A lot of men come here looking for that story. Most leave, or they just stay." He pointed with his chin to a dark corner where a grizzled old-timer sat. "You want spirits, you talk to Old Man Withers. He's the only one who claims he knew Jed." Withers was half crazy and half seer. He took Jack's money and he told him a riddle. "Coyote Jed wasn't looking for gold, son," he cackled. "He was looking for a map. He found it too. He said, 'The gold ain't at the end of the trail. It's hidden behind the dry waterfall where the snake sheds its skin.'" His next stop was the blacksmith, not for information, for supplies. But he got a warning for free. The blacksmith was shoeing a horse. "You ain't the first stranger in town this week asking about the canyon," the big man grunted, not looking up. "The other fella, he and his men didn't seem the type to share." He dropped the horse's hoof. "Silas Scar Malone and his canyon vultures. They ride out this way. They figure that canyon is their own personal piggy bank, and they break anyone else who plays in it." And then he met the law, Sheriff Thorne. Thorne didn't draw a gun. He didn't have to. He just stood there, arms crossed, watching. "I see you, Black Jack," Thorne called across the street. "Just passing through, Sheriff," Jack called back. "See that you do," Thorne replied. "Real quick, this town ain't got room for your kind of complications." Jack just tipped his hat. He had his riddle from Withers and a warning from the smith. It was time to ride. Riding into Red Rock Canyon is like riding into the jaws of a lion. The red rock walls press in on you. The heat's a physical weight. After one day, your water's hot and your throat's crack. Jack wasn't a fool. He was a survivor. He rode in the shadows, conserving his horse, his eyes constantly scanning the ridges above. He was looking for Withers' clue, the dry waterfall. On the second day, he found it, a massive black stain on the rock face where water used to flow, and at the bottom a mess of loose rocks, like a snake shedding its skin. He'd been found. Silas Malone and 3 of his vultures on the ridge above him, pinned down. "Give it up, Jack," Malone yelled, his voice echoing. "Whatever you found, it's ours." But they made a mistake. They thought he was a brawler, but Black Jack was a thinker. He saw him, spread out on the ridge, and above them he saw a pile of loose scree, balanced just right. He didn't draw and fire at them. He drew, and he aimed higher. He triggered a rock slide. Not a big one, but enough. It didn't crush them, it just separated them, blocking their path with a ton of rock and dust. He didn't stick around to watch. While they were coughing and cursing, Blackjack slipped into the shadows of the dry waterfall. He found it, tucked back in the cool dark, a chest just big enough for a man's life savings. His heart pounded. The lost coyote's gold. He pulled his gun and shot the rusted lock clean off. He threw back the lid to find nothing. No gold, no jewels. Just dust, a few dried up scorpions, and a single rolled up piece of oil-treated leather. His heart sank. He unrolled it. Old Man Withers was right. Coyote Jed wasn't looking for gold. He'd found a map. But it wasn't a map to the gold. It was a map to something bigger. A map to the legendary Mad Trapper's hoard. A treasure so big it could make a man a king. But as he looked, the irony hit him like a mule kick. The map was torn clean in half. He only had the left side, and that's when he remembered the blacksmith's other rumor, the one he'd ignored. The blacksmith had said Sheriff Thorne locked up one of Malone's scouts last week, and the only thing he had on him was a strange, torn piece of leather. Blackjack stared at the half map. He was miles from civilization. He had a gang of cutthroats hunting him, and the only other piece to the biggest score of his life was sitting in a steel safe in a stone jailhouse under the watchful eye of Sheriff Thorne. So there he is, our man, Black Jack. He's got a riddle he solved, a gang of vultures on his tail, and one half of a map to a king's ransom. And the other half? It's in the one place he can't shoot his way into, or out of. An outlaw with a heart of gold, a sheriff with a spine of steel, and a map that could get them both killed. Sounds to me like they might just have to team up. But that, partners, that's a story for part 2. If you want to find out what happens when an outlaw and a lawman have to choose between their gold and their guts, well, you best hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you would do if you were Blackjack. This is Mr. Wild West. Keep your boots dusty and your powder dry. I'll see you on the next one.